Hey everybody, just gonna do a video real quick, going over the new Ruger Security 9. Lots of other good videos out there about it, so I'm gonna try not to do anything doubled up here, but just want to give my opinion of it. I just picked this one up today. This is actually my girlfriend's gun, and she got it, or I should say she wanted it, because she's going to use it in a bag that she keeps in her car. You know, just with some basic stuff, and she wanted something, I don't want to say a cheap gun, but she wanted something a little bit less expensive, something she could just get, you know, run it through its paces, make sure it's reliable, shoot a bunch of different ammo through it, and then put it in her bag and just kind of leave it in her car and take it out every now and then and practice with it. So that's how I come to get this one up. We picked it up today and been shooting it on and off all day. You know, just getting some opinions of it and pros and cons, and you know, just going from there. So far though, I think it's a great little gun for the money. So we'll just kind of get into it from there. So obviously this thing is pretty comparable to the Glock 19 as far as size. It's about the same length, about the same width, actually a little bit thinner, same capacity. Comes with two 15-round magazines and the gun. Nothing really else in the box except your paperwork. Does have a manual safety, which I am not a fan of, but it's very, very slimline, unlike a lot of guns that are out there. So even though I'm not a fan of it, you can just not use it. I don't think you're going to inadvertently push it on. I mean, it's pretty positive. I mean, you've got to really mean to push it on. So for me, that would just be something that I don't use. And she doesn't like a manual safety either. So same goes for my girlfriend. Like I said, this is her gun, so she's just not going to use that manual safety. Decent size magazine release there. Mags go in and out real easy. Got a little cutout right here so you can get your finger in there if you had to strip the mags. You know, they all drop free, real nice. Breakdown's real simple. You just pull this pin out. Like I said, I don't want to get too into the specs of it. There's tons of videos on the specs. I just want to give my opinion. I like it. I mean, we got this gun for $313 out the door, after tax, shipping, FFL fee, everything involved. I ordered it online, had it shipped to my FFL, and for her, and she picked it up. And I mean, I don't want to say for the money, but for the money, it's a gun. This is a lot of gun. I mean, really and truly, I like Glocks. This is a Gen 5 19. They're both unloaded. I'm not a Glock fanboy. There's a lot of stuff I absolutely do not like about Glocks. I think there's better guns out there than Glocks. Everybody has different opinions. But, you know, just comparing them side by side, I mean, this thing basically has all the features that, I'll take the mag out here, of this Glock 19 for almost half the price. I mean, they both 15 round capacity. You know, this pistol has polymer sights. Okay, so does this one. Okay, factory plastic crap Glock sights. Okay, I think that's a really big con on this gun, but I don't put it as a con on this gun because it's half the price. And at least these have a set screw to hold that rear sight in a little bit better. I mean, they're actually a beefy looking sight. Yes, they're still polymer, but they're way more beefy looking than the Glock polymer sights. That if you've ever changed a set of Glock sights to put night sights or nothing, you know it takes nothing to push these sights out. I feel like this one would take a considerable bit more effort. But, like I said, for the money invested, you know, I don't really knock it on this gun. If you see them side by side, you can see this one actually looks a little smaller. It thing feels great in the hand. I can still get a full grip on it, just like I can a 19. You know, going back to having all the same features, you know, Glocks have the plastic guide rod. Does it hurt? Probably not. Do I wish it was metal? Absolutely. You know, this has a plastic guide rod. Once again, you know, almost a $600 gun. Pretty much a sub $300 gun. Yeah. You know, this actually has a Picatinny rail versus Glock's style, which is, you know, it's basically, I mean, this works fine, but I just, you know, why not just have the Picatinny? Anyway, this is not comparing the Security 9 to a Glock, although, you know, take it out, shoot this one, you know, if you really truly do weigh it unbiased. So, like, you know, I know Glock has a proven track record, and this is a new gun. I'm not cutting on Glock's track record. I have lots of Glocks. Glock 19 is pretty much my go-to pistol. As a matter of fact, my go-to pistol is right here, which is a Glock 19 that I removed. This is a Gen 4 that I removed the finger grooves on. It's got a Mariglow night sights. Got a ghost trigger bar in it. You know, that's my go-to pistol. But if you just compare these two, take them out to the range, let's say, shoot them side by side, there's really nothing to hate on about this one. And then when you compare the price on it, you know, it's really hard to justify this one. If you're just looking for a good, you know, inexpensive gun that's going to do the job, home defense and everything, this thing's going to be really hard to beat. You know, if you're familiar with the LCP, which I have a LCP, it's basically just a scaled up LCP 2, which is the one I have. I mean, it's got the same texturing, front and rear slide serrations. Unlike somebody here, got a little oil on it, that just has rear. You know, I mean, there's a lot to like. Takedown's a little bit different. You just, you push it back slightly, just a little bit like that, and push that pin out. You know, oh man, you know, it takes a screwdriver or a fingernail to take it apart, so a lot of people will just totally knock it for that. Well, I don't really see that big of a deal. It comes apart easy. I can take it apart with no tools. Just use a fingernail. You know, a case, the rim of a casing would work just fine. I mean, come on, it's not that big of a deal. Versus, you know, Glock's traditional takedown. Anyway, this is turning into a comparison video, which is not what I meant for it to be. So, let me move this boxy thing out. You know, I love Glocks, but there is a lot to be desired with Glocks, even though they are great guns. And I probably forever own one. There's still a lot of features to be desired. But anyway, moving on. I really like this thing. I've shot it on and off all day. Seems to be perfectly reliable. My second round fired out of the gun, straight out of the box, I did have a failure to eject. Could have been the ammo. I was shooting just some cheap Federal aluminum. That was the only malfunction I had. I shot brass Federal 115 grain. I shot aluminum Federal 115 grain. A lot of that actually, and I had that one malfunction. And then I shot 115 grain Winchester hollow points, and I shot 124 grain Federal HST hollow points. Everything else ran 100% reliable. Like I said, basically that's what you get in the box. $313 out the door is what I got it for. I bet if you give this gun 6 months to a year, you'll be able to get it for sub $3 out the door, which is insane. Like, totally honest, I'll probably pick up one for myself since this one is my girlfriend's gun. We're going to work this thing over, put a bunch of rounds through it, you know, prove that it is reliable, even though I pretty confidently can say that it is now. But we're going to make sure. And then this is going to go into a bag, you know, just with gun and 2 mags, just like you see it in her car. You know, not as her EDC. She'll still have her EDC that she carries anyway. You know, that she always has on her or in her purse. This will be a gun that just stays in her bag. A little bit bigger, a little bit more firepower compared to what she normally carries, which is usually a Glock 43 or sometime a LCP custom, a Ruger LCP custom, just depending. You know, it is hammer fired. Let me, yep, got dark for a minute, I know, but you can see the hammer. When I start to pull, you know, it's got a nice trigger pull. When I start to pull the trigger, the hammer comes back just a little and does its job. So there's the reset. Right there. It looks a little longer than it really is. And I'm off the trigger. Got a little take up. Nice take up, actually. Hit a swall, pull through. A little bit of creep, and snap. Not a bad trigger. I actually haven't done it on my trigger pull gauge. Let me pause this, and I'll do it right now and see what the weight actually comes in. I'm going to give it an educated guess and say 6 pounds. So we'll see. Well, I wasn't too far off. According to my trigger pull gauge, it's 5.5 pounds, just under 6. So I was pretty close in my guess there. So about a 5.5, 6 pound trigger. Trying not to go to Glocks too much, but one of the big things about Glocks that I do like is, now this is a Gen 5, so it has it on both sides, but how just slick they are. There's just not a lot hanging off the gun, which is something that I really like about this Security 9. I mean, I would prefer it not to have that manual safety, me personally, because you've got all the internal safeties and the trigger there, and then drop safeties and such. But I can live with it. Once again, for the price point, I shot this thing all day, and I haven't accidentally bumped it going in and out of the holster. You know, normal use, I don't see this being an issue. But what I'm saying is I like how slick this thing is. You know, your takedown pin is almost recessed. Your slide lock and release is real tucked in there. This side has absolutely nothing on it. Very, very slick how they did that. Got a loaded chamber, that little hole there. You'll be able to see your brass when it's loaded. Very nice. I really like that. How slick it is. I really like that feature about the gun. I think, you know, this is going to be a big hit with Ruger. The price point that it comes at, very comparable to something like this, as far as just, you know, side by side. We're not, you know, Glock this, Glock that. Glocks last forever. You know, they're the most reliable gun. You know, whatever, everybody has opinions of that. I mean, I love Glocks. Obviously, I have them and I use them, and that's one of my main carry guns. But I'm totally open to new guns, and Glock is definitely not the most innovative company out there. Ruger's coming out with a lot of good stuff lately, and I think they've got a hit with this one. No doubt it will sell, and sell a lot. So, I think it's going to serve really well for what my girlfriend's going to do with it. But I think it would serve for any purpose. I think it would totally fill the role of a, you know, a go-to gun. If it was the only gun you own, I don't think you would be, you know, underarmed a bit. Not in the handgun variety. Definitely a good gun. Accuracy was very good. About what you expect out of these type of guns. This was a 3-inch circle, so whatever that group is, probably 2 inches or so. That's, I think, 6 shots, 7 shots. I shot a bunch of groups like this. They were all basically the same. I mean, I kept everything in the 3-inch circle, and this was about 12 yards, 11 yards. So, you know, that's pretty comparable. I kept this one just to show her, and a lot of times I like to keep a target like that in the box just in case I need a reminder of what it will do if I just do my part. So, you know, pretty happy with the accuracy. Pretty typical of what you expect out of most of these type of guns, like a Glock or anything else. Like I said, trigger pull, you know, very content. It's pretty comparable to the G word that I keep using over here. Like I get for the price. I really like the front and rear serrations. I mean, whether you use them or not, I just like having them there. I am a fan of press checking. When I chamber my pistol to put it in my holster to carry, I don't, it's just a habit. You know, call me stupid, but I do it. These serrations, I will also say, are much deeper than some of the other competitors. Those are really shallow. They work. You know, they've been working for a long time. They haven't changed them ever. Glock. But anyway, I do like these. They're really deep. It's really easy to get a good rest. I mean, I'm just doing this one-handed, and I can pretty well work it and like it. You know, no finger grooves, which I prefer. You know, it doesn't have much of a hump here on the back. Got a decent. I can handle the aggressive. I can handle it being a little bit more aggressive, but it's enough. It's got more than a lot of the pistols. I do like this style of texturing. It's like a stippling, very, very mild stippling. So I like it. Don't really have any flaring to the mag well, but you know, that's no big deal there. I like the mag release. It's very easy to get to. I mean, I have no problem. I have medium to large hands, and I mean, I just torque that grip just a little, and I can get straight to it. So, you know. So there's my shooting grip, and I just twist my hand just a little, and I can get straight to it. So yeah, no complaints. Like I said, for the price, I hate to say it like that because, you know, it shouldn't be really looked at because of its sort of budget price. I don't look at it as a budget gun because it doesn't shoot like a budget gun. It shoots as good as a, let's call it a non-budget gun. I like it. I think it's going to serve her well, and I definitely see myself picking up one of these in the future. Since she'll have one, and we'll already have a couple mags, you know, I probably will pick one up. I'll probably wait. You know, these are pretty new. I'll probably wait until the hype goes down. And even though $313 is very fair price for what we got this one for, but I bet you'll see this gun. Like I said, you'll be able to get it for sub $3 if you give it some time, which is what I'm going to do. And I'll probably pick me one up just because it seems like such a well-built gun for the price. I don't think you're going to go wrong. Takedown and everything's real simple. It's got a, not going to get too detailed here, but it's got kind of a, not really a full-length rails, but pretty much from here to here, you've got a rails on both sides. So I really like that. Instead of having just, like on this Glock, it's just got the little, like a rail and then a little piece. It's just not a full-length rail. You know, totally unnecessary. I mean, it doesn't need that, but it's just kind of a, it just seems more beefy and heavy-duty if it does. So I like that feature, personally. But yeah, definitely loving this little gun for so far. Another thing I wanted to mention, since this gun is fairly new, I mean, it's been out a little while, a few months, I think, but holsters, if you're wondering about, you know, what you're, I don't know, depending on what you want to do with this, inside the waistband, outside the waistband, all of that, holster-wise, that was something I was a little curious about. Didn't want to buy a holster until I got it and make sure everything was good to go for her, but this is a holster. This is the Foxx, little Foxx holster, which is what I pretty much carry all of my pistols in. It's got the comfort pad, which is a real nice soft felt pad on the back. This is what I carry 100% of the time in as far as concealed. I've got a separate video of these holsters. I'll put it in the description, but go watch that if you're looking for a good holster. As far as concealed carry holsters, I absolutely love these. I mean, I'm wearing one right now. You know, there's one, there's another one. I have these holsters for pretty much every handgun I own. I absolutely love them. But anyway, this is the holster. I mean, here, this is a Glock 19. This is what this holster is for. And, you know, you can shake it a little bit and see it'll come out. It's got just enough retention to hold it. And then when you put your belt in here, it holds it real firm. Let me see if I can show you. What I'm getting at is this pistol fits in it just fine and works just fine. There you go. Totally safe. Cover the trigger guard. About the same retention. You know, for me, for the price of this gun, I'm not going to run out and buy more mags for it. I'm not going to run out and buy a holster just for it. I'm just going to roll with the mags it gives me and a holster that I have, because I think that's kind of the charm of this gun, is keeping what you have invested in it low. Not saying that it couldn't be your go-to handgun, and you know, it's still a great gun. I'm not cutting it. But for me, I'm just going to buy it, use it what it comes with out of the box, adapt to what I already have, and go from there. I have a lot of these holsters for Glock size pistols. So I've been carrying it all day. Not in this exact holster, but in a Glock holster, which I have one on. And it's done absolutely fine, no problem. I mean, it's got enough retention to hold it in there, but obviously, like I said, when your belt gets in here and holds it, it has excellent retention. You can still draw it and, you know, still do what it needs to do. So, just a side note there as far as holsters. I'm sure it's not going to fit all Glock holsters, but probably of the Kydex variety, it probably will pretty much work. I did try it in a Phobos holster and a Black Hawk Serpa holster that was for a Glock, and it would not fit. It would fit in those, but it was a little bit too tight. I would say pretty much it won't. I wouldn't depend on it fitting in those, but you know, Kydex, maybe leather variety, I think it'll probably work in the existing 19 holster. So if you just want to buy one of these as a, you know, as a little beater gun or a foiler gun or something to keep in your truck or a bag, you probably can just make it work with the holsters that you already have. So, you know, that's a plus. I mean, it is, size-wise, pretty comparable to the old ugly Glock here. Now, this Glock has the flared mag well, so it looks way slimmer, but it's really pretty comparable. It is smaller. I mean, and I'll tell you this, unbiased, just picking them up and holding them, this thing feels better than a Glock. Oh, yeah, I said that. It does. I mean, I've shot Glocks for years, and I love them, but you know, this thing just has a really great feel. So definitely recommend it. If it's in your budget, if it's something you're looking at, get it. You will not regret it. I love it so far. If anything comes up, any problems with it, I'll let you know. Ruger's been coming out with a lot of good stuff. I'll have a video coming soon on the Ruger PC carbine. I actually picked one of those up. If you're familiar with those, if you're not, you can look them up. So that video will be coming out soon. Sorry about that. FedEx was pulling up. He was actually delivering some ammo. So keep feeding this thing. It's some federal hollow points we had ordered. But anyway, I'll have a video coming soon, like I was saying, on the Ruger PC carbine. I actually had some problems with that gun. Now, I think I got the one lemon, as luck would have it. Everybody seems to be having a lot of luck with those PC carbines, and mine had lots of failures, and I had to send it back to Ruger, and I'm waiting on it to come back. Granted, their customer service has been amazing so far. All that will be in the video. That I'm literally the only person as of right now that has sent a Ruger PC carbine back. So out of the thousands and thousands that they sold over the last month or two since it came out, because it came out about the same time as this gun, not a single one has came back, Ruger told me, except mine. So, you know, I don't cut the company. I mean, every company has a lemon like that. You know, I don't like it. Definitely don't like it. I like when things work out of the box the way they're supposed to, like this gun did. But I've been a Ruger fan for a long time. I mean, I have a lot of Rugers. I have a lot of Glocks. I'm not really you know, biased toward any one brand. I pretty much like them all. If they shoot, function, work, do what they're supposed to, like this gun does, then I like them. But anyway, that's just a little side note. That PC carbine video will be coming soon, and I'll go over the failures that I had and how Ruger handled it, what they did to fix it, and all that will be determined when I get it back. So hopefully I'll get it back soon. I'm looking forward to putting some rounds through that gun because I really did like my first impressions of it. Alright, well that pretty much wraps it up. I appreciate you watching. I'm going to roll in some shooting footage at the end. It's just some random clips of me shooting this thing, showing some different ammo that I shot and different things. Nothing real too special, but definitely a thumbs up on this gun for the price, not for the price. They could have charged more for this gun and still sold it. Don't tell them that though. You know, for what you're getting, it's so comparable. If you don't look at it biasly and, you know, just compare the guns side by side, it is so comparable to just an off-the-shelf Glock. Except I really do think it feels a little better in the hand. And in some ways has more features. You know, if you love the safety, then hey, you'll look at this as a big feature. But, you know, front and rear side slide serrations, the pit rail, I think the grip feels better. You know, you create your opinion. Go handle one in the gun shop. I handled one of these before I ordered one. As soon as I handled it, my girlfriend handled it. I handled it. She was like, yeah, I want to get one of those. I said, okay. I said, hey, I'll order one. So I ordered one online, and you know, definitely do not regret it, neither does she so far. So, we're going to put a few hundred more through this gun before it actually goes into, you know, its roll, or where it's going to go, which is going to be in a bag, you know, in her car, kind of a get-home bag that she has. And, you know, it's a good option. It's going to do what she wanted to do. I mean, she was going to buy a Glock 19 and just put it in that bag, just a factory Glock 19. Just, you know, take it off the shelf, shoot it, make sure it works, and put it in that bag, because that's a gun that she's really familiar with and she likes 19s. But this was a little bit less expensive option that seemed to offer everything that she needed that gun to do. I mean, it's going to spend the majority of its life just riding in a bag. But if it ever did need to come out, worst case scenario, in a self-defense situation, it would do its job. You know, not so much as an EDC for her, but this is just going to be a, you know, a bad situation for whatever reason, and she needs to get home, and she needs something a little bit more shootable than her little EDC. This would be it. So, Lord hope that situation never happens to her. I hope it never does. But, you know, I would definitely depend on this gun if it did. It seems to be a nice little gun for the money. I recommend it. If you're looking in the market for something, budget gun, not budget gun, you know, one gun, you don't own a gun, and you're looking into something, this is in your price range, you know, go handle it before you buy it. Don't order it until you know this is what you want, the way it feels. But, you know, it's got a nice low bore axis, low recoil. I don't think you'll go wrong. I think you'll really enjoy it. You know, this, or a full service gun. You know, this gun can be whatever you want it to be. But anyway, try not to ramble. I'll stay on subject. But I thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll roll in the little bit of shooting footage I have at the end. I'll link in the description to my holster review on these holsters. Go check it out if you're looking for a holster, maybe for this gun. And I'll have that Ruger PC carbine video hopefully soon. Just as soon as Ruger gets me my gun back, I'll send it and get the video out. So, thanks for watching again.